Alright, I got some halfway decent weather today, and I've been waiting to get this particular experiment done, but what I want to do is run a balance tube. So right now I've got both my ports are plugged, so I got this port, little plug right there. I got this one's got a little plug over here. I don't know, maybe you can see that, but anyway, pretty standard stuff right there. And I just got back from the store, and I picked up two of these guys right here and some tubing, and we're just going to run that through. I've got to crank it up and get it warmed up. And one of the things I wanted to do is you don't want your limiting factor to be the tube, so I've got I decided for this particular experiment to run this is so they call a 1/4 inch nozzle, but it's less than 1/4 inch on interior diameter. My hose is 1/4 inch interior diameter, so I don't want the hose to be the limiting factor. I want these two nozzles to be the limiting factor. So we'll put the two nozzles in with this, and after I get it warmed up, and see what happens with the balance tube here. See if I can get a little bit of the shaker taken care of, knocked away. Alright, so I haven't cranked it up in about 2 months, and I didn't have too much gas in the tank, so I think my gas tank had evaporated over that 2 months. So I had to throw a little bit of gas into it. And it didn't take too much cranking, get the gas to flow into the back, and it fired right up. So what you're looking at, and this is like 15 seconds after I cranked it up. Didn't take me that long to walk back here and pick up the camera. But to run this experiment, I got to get it warmed up. I don't want to do it when it's cold. Alright, it's pretty warm right now. I didn't take it to drive or anything like that. Just kind of sitting there for a few minutes. It does take a bit for the idle to settle down. You got to work any air bubbles through the system and stuff. And it went through a series of shaking and run slow and run fast. Finally, it gave me one final good hiccup on the left carb, and it has now settled down into what is a pretty stable, but way too high idle. But we have some idea of what it's doing. I'm going to go in, I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to cut it back on, make sure that it comes back to the same idle. So let's do that real quick. Well, sorry about the flying video, but hey, that's what happens sometimes. But anyway, so it comes right straight back to the same idle. Get some of my equipment out of the way here. Yeah, that was in the way. That box is in the way. Alright, so let's actually cut it off. I'm going to get this thing installed really, really quick. Hopefully the motor doesn't cool off or anything. Alrighty. Alright, hopefully the manifolds aren't too terribly hot. Alright, one plug coming out. Okay, plug out. Okay, other plug coming out. Okay, plug. Alright, what have I got? Sure, I've got everything laying around down here. Alright, I got two of these. I already got one out of the bag. What do I do with it? I put it in my pocket. I did. I put it in my pocket. Alright, there it is. Let's start with this one. Get that bad boy in over here. Alright, I'm not concerned about Teflon tape or anything like that right now. This is going to be good enough. Hang on a sec. Let me get my bag open here. Let's get the other one plugged in. Okay, got a port there and a port there. Got my little chunk of tube here. See if we can't get that slid on here. Let's focus on what we're doing. It's not going to take anything more than that. Let's get this one thrown in here. Let's see where else we're going to put this thing. Let's see, let's go under the fuel line. Okay, that's good, tight over there. Hand tight there. Got our tubing. Tubing is on. All right, let's crack her up, see what it does. Electricity. Okay, well, first thing, it was idling, and it's still idling, so that's good. It's still shaking. I don't know. Let's see if it's idling. Let's pull some spark plugs here. The standard test, man, it doesn't run on this, and it doesn't run on that one, so let's see what happens. It's still not really idling on that one. I still don't see it idling on that one. Nothing. Let's pull the other one. Nothing. You know, and just in case you're thinking that it doesn't run on all four when I actually crank it up, this is what happens when you run it. You crank it up on only 2 cylinders. A little bit of a hiccup when I did that. Just a little bit. It's doing something. It's just not doing much. At some point you don't want to get too close. Yeah, but holding the wires is okay. I'm doing a little bit of something, not much. Alright, now here it runs on all 4. There's a big difference, so it's definitely running on all 4. Get that idle and settle back down again. Sorry about that. I had a little chat with my wife. She had a little issue with the vacuum cleaner. Alright, so we're still chugging along here. Oh boy, I tell you, I don't know. I'm not seeing a whole heck of a lot of difference with that vacuum port in there. Alright, well that's the right hand side. It definitely seems to be doing something on the right hand side. I'm not convinced I'm getting any action on the left. I mean, there's definitely a different noise. Boy, it's not making much difference. the idle down a little bit. See if I can find a wrench. Hang on a second. Alright, we've got a little wrench out here. See if I can back off the airflow a little bit. Alright, we cut off some airflow a little bit. Got the old unison. See what we're doing as far as airflow goes. This particular gauge doesn't work too well with this type of carb, but that's about all I got. Flowing too much on the left hand side. Let's see if we can back that off a little tiny bit more. Alright, that's noticeably slower. Let's see if we're getting anything on the idle's picking up. There's a little something on the left. I definitely think the right is responding. All right. Tighten this thing up just a tiny bit. See if I can't fine tune this a little bit. Yeah, needs more. A little bit more, jeez. Alright, that's about right. Alright, back in the middle there. It's about right in the middle on that one. Making a little bit of a difference. Not a lot. Alright, one other thing we can try is air fuel. That one's tough. Alright, let's see, this is going to be the right hand side. Holy crap, it's still idling. Alright, let's try the left hand side. Wow, it used to completely cut off if I did that, so it's definitely getting a little something out of the other two cylinders. Let's try this one here. playing this by ear, trying to listen to which side is stronger than the other. Alright, the right hand side I think is weaker. This is left. I don't know. Let's see if I can't increase the flow of gasoline a little bit on the left. But back out the gas screw a little bit. I need a different screwdriver. Sorry, wrench. That one's a little bit too big. Too big. This might be it. Check it out. This could be the one. Let's see here. Yeah, this one's got it. Alright. Back that off. A little bit more gasoline on the left-hand side. So let's see what happens. It's okay. I don't know, I think that's pretty well balanced. That's okay. I don't know, maybe right hand side might be a tiny bit stronger. I think right hand side's a little bit stronger. Let's see if I can get in here. Oh man, hard to do. Really hard to adjust the right hand carb. Really tight fit. And it's dark. Let's see here. Where's that stinking screw anyway? What the hell? Oh, hard to get to from over there. Oh man. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything with it. It work on the left side. Pick up the left a little bit. Let's see what we got now. Let's see. We want strength on the left, so let's get rid of the right side. Okay, now we're idling left. Now we're idling right. Ooh, that seems to be pretty balanced. It's a little better than it was. Okay, how's this one? Not much difference. Yeah, there's something happening with those, but boy, it's not much. I don't know, I don't think there's that much more I can do. Let's tighten these things back up. And my wife is planning on getting that thing out of the way. And once she gets that out of the way, I'm going to take this out for a little bit of a drive. And see how it feels. I wonder what the idle is anyway. I should have slowed it down a little tiny bit. Let's take a look. What do we got? Check it out, 800. That's down about 300 below where it was. Got some oil pressure. A little bit of oil temperature down there. What are we up to? 130, 140, I don't know. Not a lot. But we're just sitting here idling, so you can't expect too much to happen. Alright, what do we got here? Let's see if I can get... How smooth is it? See, the 009, they talk about that flat spot with the 009. This motor works pretty well with an 009. Even when you drive it, you don't really feel too much of a dead spot. Intakes, do the intakes, listen to the intakes. Let's see, where are my intakes? I got one intake. Can I see the other one? Just barely. Anyway, I'm about out of gas. I don't want to waste it all just idling, so let's cut this off and see if I can't get wife's car out of the place. Let's see if it pings or knocks or chugs or anything when I turn this off. Yeah, one knock. Alright, so my wife is back from doing her trip where she took the camera. So I had to wait for her to get back. And I don't even think she took any pictures while she was going with the camera. But anyway, I got the camera now. So we're going to crank this thing up. It's been sitting here for, I don't know, an hour or something like that. Boom, fires right up. Got some brake fluid in there. It's running a little bit low when I was working on the brakes. I think some brake fluid got loose. I'll tell you which way we're going to go. Oh, it's back here. Let's go this way. Fourth gear very often. It's a parking lot in my neighborhood. Neighborhood kid over here. There you go. Okay, here we are back in the garage. Didn't take too long to wiggle it back in here. After a couple laps around the block. Let's see if it hangs up when I cut it off. Not bad.